Hello and welcome back to Mistworld Dust. And when we last left our heroes, they had, well, what I was imagining was that our intrepid hero Henry was leading the charge and across the desert land, comes across a bit of rocky terrain that felt a bit squishier than normal, and then a strong wind blew up, blew the mist away, and he found himself on the tongue of the giant dragon Odiron that they had killed in the previous season.
Hmm. Good, good. I honestly forgot about that bit. I was still held up on the, drinking of the blood moment that I think carried me through.
Yep, it's fair. It's fair.
Good, good. So Henry's standing in there. It's like, oh, what's that smell? And tries to pull up his, collar to cover his face.
Mhm.
Turning back, guys. Guys, I think I found a cave we can shelter in. Come on in. It's fine, apart from smelly.
Would anyone like to have a more of a look around or smell around, as the case may be?
Is it very obvious that sort of this is the dragon?
So if you want, you can kind of look. You can, because of the distance of the mist, you can't really see much more than the head. If you want visual confirmation, you can like walk down to the chest area where you guys hit it with where you in fact hit it with a javelin with the dragon killer.
Yeah, I'd like to continue to explore down the dragon.
Mhm.
Obviously, sort of in a little bit of wonder, I guess, at sort of actually being able to see sort of the kill up close. We were
Mhm.
what, hundreds of meters away. We were fighting, darting around on the beetle,
Mhm.
and now here's the here's the monster who brought us down, I guess, or almost brought us down so close.
Cool. Where are the other two going? Melody, where are you going to be at?
Um, I think she's sort of not because she wasn't part of the fight directly. Um, she is more kind of sketching out what this thing is. Again, she's a storyteller, so this
Yeah.
is very much a I don't want to say doodling the image, but like, writing some notes around what the intrepid adventurers have just found. She does not count herself amongst that number,
Yeah.
but that's fine.
Well, I mean, honestly, you're not going to get a much closer view of a dragon's face than what you've got at the moment. So,
Right?
perfect moment for a sketch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Danny, where are you going to be?
I am probably following Melody around because I don't actually know what Melody does. And this whole
Mhm.
time I've been so distracted that I am not aware that Melody is just interested in the stories. She's just this person that we've picked up and who's come with us. So I think maybe she's finding something interesting and knows
Mhm.
more about dragons than I do, which is possible actually.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to follow her around, and every time she looks at something, I'm going to go and look at it as well in more detail and take like
Mm-hmm.
scrapings of the teeth. And, if I can find a scale, I'll dig a scale out. What
Mhm.
happened to my dragon egg? Do I still have that?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to say that in the tumble and the fact that you haven't been looking after it, it's probably gone.
Oh,
Um,
oh well.
yeah, maybe
More
you
We
can
where
have
that
save
to
came
go
them.
from.
back.
I mean, where do you think we got that omelet the other day?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you were gonna raise that? Ooh.
Yeah, that was the new what was that cat's name? Mr. Miyagi?
Mr. Miyagi,
Yes.
yeah.
Was the new Mr. Miyagi. That's all right. I'll find another dragon egg, and this time I'll pay attention and keep paying attention.
So
Anyway,
as
yeah, I'm following Melody around.
Excellent.
Henry's standing on this tongue looking back at you, all calling, "Come on, it looks fine," and then you all just walk off in the other direction.
Um,
Oh,
so Kate, given the attention that you're paying to the dragon's face,
mm-hmm.
um, you notice that Loki's kind of rocking back and forth as the body seems to kind of move a little bit. Mr. Whitber, as you are going down, like following the throat down to the chest, you can in fact see the large hole and the javelin still there, in fact, still impaling it, all the way through, and you can see the shaft sticking out. The wind's picking up, and you can see a bit more like across the belly and over kind of where the shoulders are, and you notice that where the wings should be aren't. You can't see like if it's just like a weird angle, but it looks like the wings are missing.
So the javelin's just like sort of going straight through, so like the
Hmm.
between the ribs type thing.
Oh yeah, you got it. You got it good, and then the blue bug shot lightning at it and finished it off. Like it was kind of a
Yeah.
1-2 combo.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess after sort of admiring his handiwork to some degree, can he take like a chip of bone or something off the ribs to sort of keep as a memento of this, and then head back and try and find where everyone else got to.
Sure. So you're kind of chipping away, getting a bit, kind of reaching for the hole, getting your knife, little dagger that you have out, and getting a sliver of rib. Lucky, what are you doing? Kind of like in the 10 minutes that there's drawing and rib crushing.
I think after taking a moment and wondering why everyone's walking the other direction, he'll step out and be like, "Where are you all going?" And then look back and realize it's the dragon. Like, "Oh my god, I got to tell the others!" And start running directly towards Mister. And it's a dragon. Is it the dragon? Oh my god! Get back! And he tries to dive onto Mr. Whipper to pull him down.
Look, Henry. Look, grab Henry by both shoulders.
Ah,
This is where we got it. This is the sphere. This is shot at a lifetime.
oh, so that's the dragon. It's a little bigger up close. I'm gonna step back a little if that's okay with you.
Yeah, like I'll pass Henry sort of like a sliver of the bone that I got.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a memento you can keep for yourself.
Yeah, thanks. He'll put his sword away into his sheath on his hip and take the bone. I'm gonna just stand guard. Thanks, and walks up the nearest dune to get a view of the area.
All right. Now that you're furthest away, Henry, could you give me a kind of listening perception check? I think that would be a standard 2d6 for you.
Surely. Oh, critical 2 6s. This is not the Henry we know.
Hey.
Awesome. So that's probably the best time to have one. So the
Oh,
wind has been steadily picking up over time, and what you hear what sounds like a lot of glass smashing heading towards you, but like a wave of it.
He looks
Okay.
around and tries to find where this sound is coming from, and then just runs straight back again. Mr. Whip! Charging back down the hill towards him.
As with the critical success, I'll give you this.
Mhm.
What you turn around and see, it looks like shards of glass raining down from the sky, like a storm. It's coming in the direction the wind's kind of blowing from. And with that other critical success, I'll point this out to you. The only shelter is the dragon.
Excellent. Henry's running down. The sky is falling! And he'll grab Mr. Whipper and try to shake him and like, quick, look at the sky is falling. There's glass everywhere. Run! And he's going to try and, use he'll drop the bone, grab Mr. Whipper's arm and try and pull him away from him towards the dragon's mouth.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Looking up, and I guess with Henry just sort of basically just pointing out exactly what's going on. Looking up, I'm going to leg it as well. Seeing all this glass coming down.
I'll actively keep an eye out for Melody and not Nearly, Astrakhan along the way.
I'm so glad that somebody else did it first this week. So So and Astroka and Melody on that note. So they're not being subtle. You hear this. You hear the glass, the sound of glass smashing on the ground, coming rapidly closer, along with the high wind. Um, you guys can run to the mouth. You can try and find shelter in another part of the dragon, or something else.
I think run to the mouth and go and hide inside the dragon sounds good. I mean, that's where Mr. Whitburn and Henry are going, right?
Well, that's where you can hear them going, but yes.
That makes sense. I assume that you would sort of, because you were following Melody, she would notice you move and therefore follow you in a, well, you're doing something interesting.
Kicks you in the back of the knee. Die.
It took an arrow to the knee.
So you guys are hanging out inside the mouth. This thing is big. Like the skull alone is the size of a 2-story house. You can easily kind of wander down the throat. And I don't know if you guys have ever been near a glass smashing machine, like if you've ever worked hospo, but there's a reason why you're required to wear headphones around them. It is deafening. So when this rain starts pitter-pattering onto the grass, you start seeing it. So what looks like dried shards of glass kind of smashing down. Once they hit dirt, once they hit the ground, they kind of shatter into sand and look like the rest of the ground. But it is deafening out here. If you're
Can I've been feeling like the little bit of magic that I inherited from my gnomish ancestors feels like it's just a bit stronger now that I'm down on the ground for reasons that are really unclear to me at this point. But I feel like it's not just machines that it might influence now. I wonder if I could use some of that magic to kind of encourage the dragon's corpse that we're hiding in to become more like stone, the way that the goblin corpse did, that would hopefully provide us with a bit more shelter and hopefully a little bit more sound insulation as well, so that we're not actively deafened by this glass storm. Is that a thing that I can do?
if you're wanting to avoid being deafened, you'd have to close the mouth. Because the issue isn't so much that that it's hitting the dragon scales and the dragon scales are holding up, but these things are nothing compared to that. It's more that it's just like bottles of glass, like pans of glass breaking and shattering and shattering and breaking. So if you're wanting to stay in the mouth, you can try and use your magic to close it, absolutely. But otherwise, if you turn into stone, it won't solve it might make it stronger as terms of protection, but it won't solve the sound issue.
Ah. Well, I'm known for my, very cautious and forward-thinking choices. So closing the mouth while we're inside the dragon sounds great. I'm going to do that.
Just because I want this to happen, roll with advantage. So roll 3d6.
Let's see. There is, oh gosh, a 1, a 3, and a 4.
So you start working your magic. You start bringing the mouth closed. Leaving your forthright thinking this actually does come through this time, and you end up leaving enough of a gap that you guys can run out, but it has no effect on the sound as a result.
Ah, yeah.
Nice. I think Henry would look towards Melody, just trying to cover one ear with his hand, and it's just, do you know anything about dragons? If we could break its jaw or something.
So Melody's a bard, right? So she knows a thing or two about like how sound works, for example. Can I use like, this is gonna sound like there isn't really a song or a spell like to do this, but I'm wondering if you'll like indulge me here of like finding a way to basically use this is gonna get gross, use the tongue as a baffle. Now, I appreciate what I just said.
Yes.
But-
it's going in the ad.
Use
Yeah.
the tongue as the baffle.
Can I use the tongue as a baffle? Not the weirdest thing I've ever said on a TTRPG actual play, but close.
All right. Again, I'm on board. I will
Um,
grant you advantage to use your bardic powers to
Yeah, I mean, I get
enable
advantage on
this.
tests relating to music, musical instruments, and vocal performances. So I would
Yeah.
argue that this is one of those regardless. So is that
Okay.
3?
Yes. Roll 3d6. You succeed on a 5 or a 6.
I got a 6, a 4, and a 2, and I am not using these dice again because they're impossible to read.
Awesome.
Cool.
So with the 6, so this is what I'm imagining. Feel free to change it. But you start doing like a snake charmer type music.
Yeah.
And as a result, the tongue responds and starts lifting up, and you're able to like place it in such a way that it manages to block out most of the sound. It reduces the amount of space that you guys have.
Gross. That's just
Gross.
gross.
That's gross. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry, but yep. That's a wet sound effect waiting for us all.
I think Henry, just in awe, just looks up at Melody and says, how did you do that?
I mean, as someone who is adept with with words, I am good at using tongues. I don't know what you expect from me.
Wow. I wish I was good at using my tongue.
She looks at you like you have just spat in her face.
Henry still
I
looks
feel
up
it.
at you in absolute awe. Assuming it's quite dark in here now, do we have an ability to use the torch or something?
Well, I'll say Darling kind of starts emitting a little. Now that Darling's back up to full power after the last session, the Darling kind of starts emitting a little glow as a walking nightlight function.
All right. Well, guess we better try and find another exit. All right. He pulls out his sword. Whoosh. All right. Follow me.
All right. So you guys start going through. Just every now and then you come across a little, not parasite, like scavenger, like a little something hand-sized with a ridiculous number of tentacles, heads, limbs, something. Just kind of like skitters up, gets into the light, and you just get it with your sword. No need to roll. It's just kind of reacting to your presence. As you
I
guys
know
go,
what we're eating for dinner.
I mean,
shoving them
you
in
gave
the
her
magic
enough.
bag.
You get a little shish kebab going. It's good protein.
They're just land squid. We can make kebabs out of them.
Yeah.
You don't have udders though.
Eventually, you come across these little fleshy sacks down halfway down the throat. Mr. Whitbar, could you give me an education roll to see what that is?
3. D6.
Yep.
Cool. 4, 5, 6.
Hey.
Nice.
So with the double success, you know that is flammable. So you guys could use that. It's what the dragons use to breathe fire. So you could just big storage of them. You could use part of that to set up a cook fire and camp out on this section of the body in relative safety and silence.
I'm gonna point it out to Ashrakan as our local chemist / mad scientist, I guess.
We dragon fire.
Yeah, I know Ashrakan will know what to do there, as well as like start going on about a long story about last time I saw it, like that.
I'm pretty sure that with a bit of help from Darling, I can cut these sort of sacks out and get some kind of cook fire started. I'm also going to take samples so that I can compare dragon fire to like other forms of flammable substances.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, with that haul that you got from the last session, you can easily like, oh, this is pretty useless. Empty that out, fill it up with some of this oil, and you're able to kind of quickly set up a little cooking camp out using it as a heat source to cook your meals. Outside, you can still hear the rain ongoing, but um, it's not affecting you. It's not too loud anymore. Uh, what do you guys talk about?
I think Henry would be the one cooking because he has that ability to make everyone get some health back,
Mhm.
which is pretty fun. So, I think after he's done and handing out the food, he just looks over and does it taste good? Just looking for any compliments.
Are you cooking stray bits of dragon that you've cut off the?
No, it's the little throat squids that we had here.
They smell
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Calamari rings?
well,
Do we
sort
get
of.
throat squid milk?
No, I
I-
checked. They don't have udders, so it's not possible to milk these ones. It's pretty unfortunate. Nearly loved her squilk.
And she'll
Melody,
love the squilk again.
Melody, do you eat questionable meats? I know some people are vegetarian, and I didn't want to,
Your face.
just assume.
I mean, I have traveled wide. There are foods in lots of places that are not. I don't think there is a lot of things that I find weird to eat, because when you are offered food by different people, it is important to be polite, to try. So it seems fine
Oh.
to me.
Okay, and so he smiles, and well, here's something to try.
She will take it very gingerly.
Nice. And then he'll, look around the table at everyone with this table, but like campfire with everyone with a little stick of squid and smile to himself for a moment. Well, eat up. And takes a bite. Oh, this is pretty good.
Is it pretty good, Jim? Is it pretty good?
I'm gonna need a roll, 2d6 roll to find out.
Who is rolling the 2d6? Therein lies the question.
Let Henry have it.
Yeah.
That's a bad choice. A 2 and a 4.
So with the 4, I'll say it's tolerable. It's definitely not fine cuisine. He's done better in the past. He is a skilled cook, but given that you're eating, scavengers and dragon jerky, I guess at this point, it's what it is.
I think
The worst
Henry.
meat Henry's put in our mouth.
I think Henry genuinely enjoys it. He says, for a parasite, it's not so bad. You gotta like rinse out the juice from the tentacles, but so Melody, you said you've traveled.
Yes.
Well-
Of course. This is how I have ended up on the ship, and I guess with you.
Oh, I mean, you didn't need to say it with such disdain, but that's fine. I mean,
I
no,
did
it's
not
just
be disdainful. I think you are mistaking disdain for this voice. The way I speak, it is not something that necessarily everyone understands.
yeah, I guess that could be it. So where does your voice come from?
Her throat,
My
like other
throat,
people's
yeah.
voices.
Well, I kind of got that.
Sure.
I mean, we're kind of experts on throats, gesturing around the room.
She
But-
looks at you like in mild abject horror at the idea that you are an expert on throats, to be clear.
I mean, we're also in one currently, so
Oh no, she's. I'm fully aware of that. That's
Yeah,
not.
good.
That's not what she's finding weird.
head goes completely over Henry's head.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you talk, it's
Yes.
different. Why do you talk like that?
Why? Because this is. Have you never met somebody who is not, how would I say, the same as you?
I mean, you're taller than the other three of us, but I mean, I've met plenty of tall people before. It was more you talk like you eat frogs is probably the best way.
I wonder, perhaps you have how they say, put your foot in your mouth. No?
I can't. I've tried a lot. I mean, I tried to specialize in yoga for a little while, but apparently my body isn't built for bending. That's what my teacher said.
Yes, this is why you have chosen rather to specialize in yogurt rather than yoga, huh?
Was that a joke? You're funny. Good,
Again,
good
she
one.
looks at you being like,
Good one.
what? Like,
Henry's just. I think Henry's just so out of his depth, just
Oh,
trying
yeah, no.
to figure out what the hell's going on. Just,
she is very much like responding to literally what you are saying,
yeah.
not anything beyond what you are literally saying. Because now you keep saying weird things, and she isn't quite sure how to manage, given that you have been incredibly upset, incredibly like angry, like through the last however long.
I think
Not
yeah,
long that
Henry
this
just
group has been together.
looks at her staring at him and thinking, yeah, well, I mean, do you like the food? He goes to take a bite of his own.
I think it is fine. It is not a food I have had, therefore I do not know what it is supposed to taste like. So perhaps it is supposed to taste like this. I don't know. What do
Yeah.
you think? And she like looks across to Astrakhan in a very like casual. What do you think?
It's not as good as Sky Squid, but it's not bad. It's definitely better than old dragon jerky. Probably better than random criminal's blood. So,
Yeah.
you know, by comparison, this is haute cuisine, Henry. You're doing well.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that was pretty messed up, yeah. What happened there? With the
Which
blood?
bit? Oh,
I mean
It's-
the drinking and the whole cutting the guy's head off and everyone kind of basking in it. It wasn't my cup of tea. Or my cup of blood. See that was my joke.
yeah, yeah. I think you have to just stay positive, Henry. Just think how much Neely would enjoy the little squid things, these
Mm.
squid things, and don't think about the blood too much, and don't think about the relative scarcity of food down here that means that people drink each other's blood, because that's probably not a good thought. Instead, we should focus on the good things. That we've got a dragon carcass to hide in, and we've got squid kebabs to eat. Those are good things. We're catching up with Neely. I'm sure we're catching up with Neely.
Hope
We
so.
have a new friend who can fly.
You can fly?
Yeah, Melody can fly. She flew you down from the ship. She flew
I
me
mean,
down
I
from the ship.
was kind of looking down, but no, that's kind of cool. How far can you fly? You
What is
travel
far?
like I mean, we had a ship before we crash landed here, and we traveled. I mean, from
Oh, I
mountaintop
see.
to mountaintop. But is that a
Um,
normal thing for you?
I am more of how you say a sprinter than a long distance flyer, I suppose.
Oh, okay. Well,
I have never tested how far I can go, but also that is it because I would like to also come back. And I think if you go too far one way and then you cannot get back, that is probably worse. No?
do you think we'll make it back?
Is
Gesturing
there
up.
a reason we should not?
I mean, we don't exactly have a ship anymore, and we have to make it through that mist that kills us if we breathe it in. Um, it's not looking too hopeful, if I'm all honest. He stops eating for a moment.
It's all right, Henry. I'm starting to think that I can actually interpret what all these golems are, what they're doing. And if I can work out how they work, I can probably build us a golem dragon to fly us out of here.
You
I
can
mean,
do that?
not yet, but I should be able to figure it out. As long as we can avoid getting attacked too much by the golems the next time we meet them, I can study them, and then I could probably build you an arm. I hadn't thought of that before. I could probably make you a prosthetic arm. It'd be
Henry
like a
sits the
miniature
fruit in his
golem.
lap and kind of rubs the stump where he's at. That would be nice. Thanks.
It would be like having your own version of Darling attached to your shoulder.
And he looks down where Darling is, and he set out a plate for her. Are you not hungry?
I think she's still full from the energy
Yeah.
crystal.
Oh, okay. I'll just eat that, and reaches over and grabs it. Well, I mean, Melody, you said you've traveled the world.
Yes.
Have you heard a story of where someone else has made it out of a place they were trapped in like this?
Do you mean to say, are you looking for something to compare to our current situation?
I mean, anything that might shed a little bit of light on it, maybe.
Of course. Well, I mean, there are airship crashes on I would not say regular basis, but it is not the first time that airships have crashed, no? Mountaintop to mountaintop.
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon, I guess.
There
Do
is
those people make it out alive?
sometimes they do, sometimes they do not. I cannot say which of these we are, but there was what is name of it's how you say in also the airship 815 it crashed and there were a lot of people and it took them like 6 years, something like that, to work out how to get back to where they were, but can just take time. It's not a problem necessarily if one is lost for a period of time.
Yeah, I mean, most of us have time. We save nearly in time, then we'll have time.
You seem very concerned about this, Neely.
She's one of us, and kind of gestures to Astrakhan and Mr. Whipper. I mean, we've been through a lot together. Nothing against you. I mean, it's lovely to have you here to tell stories and show me how you fly. But
you make it sound like I am a toy, like I am something to be played with. Is this what you think, Henry?
I don't know. Can I play with you?
She looks at you like, are you realizing what you have just said?
Catch! And he throws the cooked squid at you.
Hey, GM, what do I have to roll to catch it? Because I do not feel like this is necessarily a given.
Just hits her in the
meaning-
face.
You know what? I'm gonna. If you want to roll 2d6 and let the fates decide, or you
Let's-
could just decide what happens.
Let's let the fate decide. That's a 5 and a 3. Okay, so I catch it. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's more fun to roll dice in decision moments like that.
Could I add that you catch it, but the source goes on your face?
Sure.
All
We
right.
Why
don't
not?
want to think about what the sauce was made from.
No.
Dragon oil.
Of course. Naturally.
Dragon oil.
Sorry about that.
Hmm.
But at least, I mean, you can half play. Throw it back. I'll go long. And he, stands up and runs down the throat a little bit.
So heading towards the stomach, just to be clear in the direction you're going.
Yeah, sure. I was originally going to say the other way, but stomach sounds more fun.
She's gonna look across at Mr. Whipper in a very is he serious right now? Like we are what is written on her face is we are inside a dragon and he is expecting me to play catch.
He's
Is
just a
this-
young
is this
28-year-old.
This is happening?
Just have to, yeah. It's best to just play along, otherwise you kind of never hear the end of it, and or just he'll think that you hate him and become completely unbearable.
You can become more unbearable than this.
This isn't even
Okay.
like this is like 10%. of what it could be.
She sighs exasperatedly, and so to say picks up a rock. I can't do that. We're inside a dragon.
You can pick up a gizzard or something.
mm,
Well, actually, there's a very oddly shaped large rock close by that you could like frisbee at him.
yeah,
Pick up a
that's
cooking
the
knife.
that's the it's more the like the tossing of something that is not squelchy feels
Yeah.
feels like the appropriate thing to do.
Yeah, I imagine dragons are kind of similar to birds. They have like gizzard stones.
Yeah, that's fair. They've got like
Yeah.
to help macerate everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am taking a knife and going hunting for the dragon's gizzard.
Okay. So all right. So as usual, the party is splitting as Henry is traveling down towards the stomach. I guess you're heading in that direction as well. While Mr. Whitber and Melody are both staying in the throat fire.
Not in the fire, to be clear, like
But near the fire.
adjacent to said fire. Yeah.
Okay. Henry, do you get this thing frisbee thrown at you? Are you gonna roll to catch it, or you just
Of
gotta
course.
miss?
He gets to play with Melody. Of course he's going to do it.
All right, roll 2d6.
A 6 and a 2.
So you catch it, and you
Mhm.
realize it's actually super familiar. It's your old shield come back. The dragon must have gone to snatch your arm out of the air, and just took the shield with it.
Henry turns it over and his arm's still there. Just as
Oh no, no, the arm's gone. We're not going down there.
Oh my god. He looks at it because I mean it's made of sky squid beak, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sky squid
Yeah.
beak. It's just how did she? I think he'll slowly walk back in just absolute horror. Like, where did you find this? And he looks at the shield and then looks up at Melody.
It was on the floor. Where else would I find something to throw at you?
This is mine. This the dragon ate it, and he looks up towards the mouth. And that's how I lost my arm. And thank you so much. He kind of takes it and sits down back where he was for a minute and just looks at it, trying to turn around with one of his hand because he can't really wield it at the moment. I think he'll get pretty somber at that time.
Mr. Whitber, while all this emotion is happening, I was kind of imagining you just taking a walk at all this, talky talk. But it sounds like you're around. What are you up to?
Honestly, I'm not sure at this point. So, normally, I guess, Mr. Whitmer would have been sort of like off trying to, get away from Henry as much as possible. Like now that Melody is the one on babysitting duty. Previously that was Nearly, and Melody so well, just fell head first into that role. I think Mr. Whitber was somewhat off trying to at least find a comfortable place to bunk down if we were going to stay here, or explore, what else is in the depths of the throat.
So as you so I'll say that you reach a point where you can take a left turn, maybe towards the lungs, away from where Henry and Astrakhan are. Um, what you've and it's this part's kind of rocky as you go through, like the skin's a bit tougher. You're within sight of the fire. You could kind of make a little nest for yourself here. You can still hear the kind of drumming of the rain outside.
Drumming of the glass.
Yeah, the glass beating against
Rain,
the
yeah.
toughened dragon. The glass rain.
Just sleep amongst the tuberculosis.
Yeah. So, I want to at least get an idea of what else is around further down in the area. I'll make note. Obviously, this is
Mhm.
potentially a good place to stay, but don't want to leave you know, but an opening. There's these parasites here. What else could there be? You know,
Yeah,
coming out of the stomach.
so you're heading down towards this lung area. You kind of you kind of got a basic idea of general animal anatomy from your reading. There's fewer of those kind of, I mean, we call them squids, but they're all different shapes and sizes. There's some of them are tentacles, some of them have claws. They're all just a mix of gross. And they're in here as well, kind of, doing their thing. But the no kind of every now and one of them tries to latch onto you like a leech, and you just kind of yank it off and throw it away. Um, in terms of what you can find here, there isn't much here. Like it's just kind of this big open space that you where you look around and you can't see much. It's just a big open area.
Yeah, all right, well, I'll head on back then. Um, is there enough sort of room around here for everyone?
Yeah, I mean, you guys could kind of bunker down here if you want to kind of have a closed space, I guess, like a room.
Yep.
It is quite large. You can't see everything that's in here, but you're pretty confident that it's defensible, if nothing else.
Yeah. Well, I'll head back and advise the group, I guess, of where everything is. Come back and lift Henry up to catch a high throw from Melody.
Now Henry's, after receiving the shield, he's just kind of mulling it over, I think. Looking at remembering all the good times, and he'll think about how you got it, because I think you made it for him essentially, and then nearly forced you to give it to me after a lot of badgering.
Oh, I was gonna give it to you, sort of when you deserved it, I guess.
Yeah, so I think Henry, after taking a minute, just, all right, well, are we gonna sleep here, I guess, in the throat? Is that
There's
best?
slightly a more roomy area further down.
Oh,
Have I managed to find the gizzard?
Give me a 2d6 roll.
2 and a 3. That doesn't look good. I need new dice.
It's no, so you're like well and truly in getting into the guts of the situation effectively. And as with any you know the digestive system, there's a lot of tubes leading to various places. And so far you've not been able to find the gizzards in particular.
All right. I mean, it should be further up towards the throat, but at least I recognize acid rather than just stepping in it.
I'm now Googling a picture of chicken's anatomy so we can be in agreement where it could be.
Yeah, have in fact gutted enough chickens to have a semi-decent idea out of character.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, which one of us has noticed that the dragon wasn't as strong as it should have been when it was fighting us?
Well, it's more that it should have been more ready. Like it was tired, it was waking up, it was practically hibernating when you guys found it. So it was still like I believe a week or two away from kicking off its plan. So it was more that it wasn't it was still waking itself up completely and getting ready to go.
So we didn't think it was sick or something like that.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Cool.
And I think we all noticed, because we had a whole conversation on the shiny beetle about it, that we thought it should have been able to kill us much more easily than that.
Yeah. I think
To be fair.
Indeed.
Yes, I'm looking at a picture of chicken's anatomy, and I can confirm that the gizzard seems to be a fair way down. So
It's further
mean,
down
you're-
than you would think, and it doesn't sound like we're that far down the throat at this
no,
point.
you're still in the looking at this picture crop area.
great. It's nice to know that dragons are just giant scaled
Look.
chickens.
Look, if you really want to get into it, chickens are just tiny little T-Rexes with feathers. So,
Yeah, seriously, have you ever seen a chicken hunt a mouse? Because they will.
They
And
will.
if you imagine a chicken that's taller than you are, it's a very scary animal. Like, chickens do this thing with their head where they turn it on one side so that they can get binocular vision. And it's terrifying. It's like something from Jurassic Park. It's just because they're tiny and cute that we think it's not dangerous.
Damn straight. I have 3 chickens, and my family, well, my wife especially, is terrified of them.
I honestly thought you were going to say, I have 3 children and
I had 3 children. Then the chickens.
yeah.
Those chickens.
And then the chickens came. Um, right. So, yeah, you're still kind of wandering around. You're quite separate from the others, it sounds like in that case, in this search.
Yeah, I've probably summoned a little ball of light, or I've got Darling with the nightlight,
Mhm.
keeping track of where I am. So I should be able to find my way back easily enough. But I'm
Mm.
not too fussed. I can still vaguely hear that it's raining glass outside. The others are going to either be playing catch or having conversations about emotions. So I might as well see what I can hunt in the gizzards of the dragon.
All right. Sounds great. The rain is continuing. Is anybody else doing anything?
I think Henry will try and tell Melody, just like, do you want me to tell you the story of how I got my shield?
You can tell me the story if you want. Do you think it is one that I should write down, or is this one just that you are foretelling?
Oh, no, most definitely. And he'll go on about his first battle was a team against the giant sky squid that attacked their ship, and how we ended up managing to kill it and collected its beak, and it was formed into the shield of friendship. And he'll really ham up the friendship and go on in way too much detail about how pretty the shield is and his battles with it. In most of them, it seems like he failed horribly and ended up getting knocked unconscious, but the shield protected him from dying.
Yeah. Yeah. That you can see that she feels like there's some vague irony in the fact that you are talking to someone who literally has 2 very expensive shields functionally strapped to herself because they are her wings. So, cool, this very pretty shield that she's looking at that is not as decorative
I
or
thought it was a
interesting as
rock.
this. Yeah. Basically, that she thought was a rock.
Anyway, so he's very happy and to try and tell details about it, and he's very thankful for you for
Yeah.
finding it for him.
I do not know how useful it will be, but I'm glad you have this thing that is apparently so important for you, for remembering this very long story.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. I mean, I can't really wield it at the moment, but Astrakhan said she might be able to make me an arm, and then I can put it back on again, and I'll be able to save everyone. Maybe. Yeah, I'll save everyone. Maybe.
Sounds like it is not everyone you want to save, but one person, no?
I mean, do you need saving?
You don't need to save me. I am not in trouble.
See,
I am
then
fine.
if there's no one who's in trouble, then they don't need saving. Whereas,
She's gonna sit back because you have spent so much time on this adventure that since she's been talking about Neely, she's just like, cool, interesting.
she needs saving, just like she saved me.
Oh, she doesn't say Neely's name at all. So unless your brain does that,
No. I think
Yeah.
it's Henry's justification because you said that the whole saving people thing. He's like, well, you don't need saving. She does.
Okay, this is fine. You go save her. Why are we staying inside very damp dragon in this case? No.
There was a lot of glass falling from the sky. It seemed dangerous. But I mean, as soon as that's ready, we're gonna find an exit, hopefully the mouth again, and get on out of here. And we'll do what we can. We'll save her. Mr. Whipper, is this where we were sleeping?
Yep. There's plenty of room here in the folds of your esophagus, I guess.
Thanks. I'll Henry kind of sets up and takes a fold of esophagus and rolls it over himself. Yeah. Well, get some rest, everyone. Well, we need to get out early, or as soon as that rain stops. Thanks, Melody, for listening and playing with me. Snuggle back into the esophagus.
She's gonna stand up and walk
Joy
over to
playing
Mr.
with him,
Whipper. Mr. Whipper, and just go, is he always like this?
Uh, he's been a little bit worse lately, I think, since the accident. But
Since the accident.
but yes, but for the most part, this is what you have to resign yourself to. And thanks for looking after him, I guess.
I did not do anything. I sat there and listened, and he talked and talked and talked and talked, and then talked some more, and I don't know, hugged his shield like it was a child.
Yes, well, it seems like you're the you've got delegated the duty of being the designated ear.
Hooray for me, I guess. Also, where is your friend? There were 4, and now we are 3. Where is your friend with the fixing things friend?
A good question, and probably something we should find out.
Smash cut 2.
Astrakhan, wandering through yet another dark and oddly kind of dull red corridor somewhere in the insides of the dragon. Have I found anything interesting?
You sure have.
Ooh.
It's not what you want to find.
Oh dear.
So you find yourself in an area that you realize is it's kind of rotted away, and you've instead of going through like like actual tunnels or part of the dragon, you've kind of been walking across muscles, and you find yourself staring up at the spine of the dragon, and 2 holes, large man-sized holes leading to the outside. You can hear the glass clearly breaking through, some of it going through these holes on either side of the spine.
So does it look like the glass caused the holes, or something else caused the holes and the glass is just coming in?
Give me a 2d6 roll. Let's see what you can work out.
Nope. That's a 2 and a 4.
Cool. So I'll give you that it doesn't look like the glass did this to the dragons. Like you can still see it's bouncing off the dragon scales. You don't know where you
Okay.
are on the dragon to work out where these holes are though.
I am. This is probably not good. Given the giant bugs outside, nothing that leaves holes in the hide of a dragon is good. So I'm probably going to retreat, and Darling's pretty sneaky. I might send Darling to do a quick scan around and see if there's anything moving up here, because we probably really don't want like a giant scorpion or something coming up from behind while we're sleeping.
Yeah. Give me a scan roll, I guess, from Darling. As usual, it is with advantage now that he's back.
All right. And then this is for Darling. We can get a better look when we have together. I got a 5.
Nice. So as you've been walking, Darling's been like scanning and taking note of where you are, and they kind of pull up this little I guess we call it a hologram, but it's like illusion type display of where you are on the dragon, and you're just below where the wings are, or should be attached.
Something's taken its wings. Did I notice before that its wings were missing, or did I not get that?
Mr. You were up near the face where Melody was drawing, so you missed that part. Mr. Whitburst saw that like he should have been able to see them from his angle, but couldn't.
I think found it interesting enough to relay either.
Yeah, in that case, if you kind of relayed that at some point before, then yeah, you also know that.
I am deeply uncomfortable with anything that can take a dragon's wings off the dragon. Given how hard it was to like hit the dragon at all, that's not good. But it's probably not a giant scorpion.
Oh, and I guess on that note, yeah, there's nothing around you that's dangerous.
Hmm.
And I guess I'll say with this note as well, you kind of like able to with this kind of map coming up, you can work out where the gizzards are, and if you want to, you can go and find them.
Well, I mean, that was the whole point of this trek through the dragon's
Hmm.
insides to see if there were actual like gizzard stones in there
Hmm.
and what they were made of. But
Yeah.
I might see if I can do that and then head back to the throat fire because I'm now a little bit freaked out about what's outside the dragon.
So you kind of pass by close enough to the others that they can see your light. They if they want to, I assume they will. They'll call out to you to see that you're okay. Um, and just kind of reconnect with each other temporarily as you go stomping off towards Gizzard Town. Um, I don't know. I'll admit I don't know a lot about gizzards. I'm gonna assume my understanding though is that basically they're like almost like a repository of hard things that these kind of creatures eat to help them digest. That's my understanding of what that is. Correct?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think they keep some in their crop and some goes into the gizzard. So I was
Mhm.
hoping the dragon swallowed something interesting that might
Yeah.
still be there.
It has. So what you basically kind of find this like hard muscular ball. You kind of scan it through and realize it is the gizzard. I'm going to assume you cut it open.
Yep,
Yeah.
with my handy knives.
With your very handy knives. And inside basically is lumps of gold.
Huh.
Like if you could bring this topside, it would be a fortune.
Is there enough of it to make wire or like do anything useful?
It's all kind of raw. It's like raw ore. So you've got some equipment. I guess you could try and spin wire out of it.
It's more a case of is there enough for it to be worth doing that at some point?
If you want to spend the night here doing that and camping away from the others, then you could. Just let them know send Darling to let them know where you are.
I don't necessarily need to do it now. If it looks
Mm,
like it might be useful, then I'm just thinking at some point I do want to try to build Henry a new arm,
mm.
and wire is probably one of the things that'll degrade quickly. So gold is pretty malleable and does make semi-decent wire. It conducts. So when I make him his arm, I might want access to this. If it looks like it'll be useful, I can stuff it into the bag of holding along with everything else.
Give me a 3d6 roll to see if you're able to get enough.
Also, I love that these are golden gastroliths. Gastroliths is a fancy word for gizzard stones, just for those playing along.
Yes. No,
Two
thank you.
Case of the
fives.
golden gastrolith.
Yeah. With two
Two.
fives, yes, you find you kind of find enough pure enough ore that you're confident you can make enough wiring not only to make Henry's arm, but to do it well. Like it's going to be easy
Nice.
once you kind of find the rest of the material, it'll be a piece of cake.
Nice. All right.
Uh,
I stuff more useful things random shit into my bag of holding
I'm
because
looking
that's
forward to
what
the day
they're
when that thing
for.
pops and all this shit comes out at once.
Oh, it's gonna be so dangerous.
Uh, I'm
There
also
are
going to
like
give you.
explosives in there.
You also find as a kind of as you're digging around, given that you had two successes, why not? You find a obsidian coffer that's engraved with dwarven runes. So this kind of not chest, but like a handheld chest. Nothing
Oh,
inside though.
oh. That I'm gonna take with me separate from the bag of holding to see if maybe Mr. Whitber can read the runes on it.
Fair
But
enough.
then yeah, I'll head back up to the others. I'm not gonna tell Henry about the gold, just because it's not like I don't actually have the rest of the stuff for an arm yet. And he gets awfully excited and then very sad if something doesn't happen straight away.
I feel like everyone's babying Henry. I don't know why.
I know
Yes,
why.
you totally don't know why.
He's a grown man. He is 28 years old.
And he acts like a toddler. It's fine.
Yes,
That's an upbringing issue.
It is an upbringing issue.
it is.
Um, all right. The rain is continuing. If you guys are just gonna go to sleep, we can leave the scene there. Otherwise, I'd leave it to you.
Yeah, Henry's well asleep by now.
Yeah, I'll tell everybody that something's taken the dragon's wings, like pulled them out. But other than that, settle down, go to sleep. Ask Darling to keep an eye out for any like creepy crawlies, big or small, that are coming too close to us.
Fair enough. You two, the other two, you're doing the same?
Melody would be the last to bed,
Mhm.
but yes, doing the same.
So I'll need a long sleep.
Yeah.
Long
So you
sleep in
guys,
early morning.
yeah, go to sleep. Nothing comes at you in the darkness. Uh, when you wake up, Astrakhan, you get this like little kill count from Darling as they've like been killing all these little creepy crawly leech things. They've been trying to come towards you guys. It's been on patrol the whole night. Done a very good job.
Darling is my favorite of all of my party members.
With the sounds die down, you guys can easily go outside and see what's what. And it's what you see in terms of the dragon itself is there's all these kind of like dents all over it from the rain, but nothing's cut through. If you want to, you can kind of inspect the area more, or you can just move on, try and catch up the distance that you lost.
Henry will push to keep moving on if we can. I mean, anyone can argue against it, but Henry's going to push to try and catch up with those rancid thieves.
I'll have
Fair
a
enough.
quick look around before sort of trotting to catch up with everybody else.
What you notice from looking around is it looks. Actually, give me a 2d6. Let me see what you get out of it.
4 and a 3.
All right.
I'm pretty
So
tired.
yeah, you're pretty tired. You're not you kind of you only get because you can only see so far ahead of you as well. You're not able to get a full picture. But what you do looks like is that it looks like the other side of the dragon from the belly, like the back, kind of area. Whatever took the wings. It wasn't a clean cut. It was a tear. Yeah, it wasn't anything kind of man-made about it. Aside from that, there's a kind of big crater where it looks like it's been kind of partially dragged, or maybe from how it landed and kind of been put through, but you don't get much more than that.
Okay. I tell everybody else that I'm pretty sure there is a bigger dragon around here, because that's the only thing I can imagine that could have pulled a dragon's wings out and then dragged it through the ground. So I'm just going to tell them that like it's 100% truth.
Why would a dragon want another dragon's wings?
I don't know, as a trophy, maybe it eats them. It's a dragon. Do you know how they work? Actually, Melody, why would a dragon want another dragon's wings?
Tell us, O wise
For
one.
a trophy, I don't know. But why do you think it necessarily a dragon would not how you say, is humanity not stupid enough to try and rip something apart when it is sitting in front of them, rather than caring about it?
I mean, yes, but usually people will use knives or swords and cut things out. It's a lot easier than just like pull the wings out. I think it was an
Sounds
animal.
like sounds like a bunch of strong people who wanted a challenge to me. But then again, who knows?
Maybe they tied ropes to it or something.
Yes, exactly. Exactement.
Nah, I
Dragged
think it
them.
was a dragon. I think it was a bigger dragon. Makes the most sense.
Why would the dragon want extra wings?
Who
That's
wouldn't
what
want
I
extra
said.
wings? Maybe it was a
Right.
golem dragon and it could attach the wings and then it would have 4 of them and fly twice as fast.
You're saying instead of giving Henry an extra arm, you give him wings.
I don't think I want wings. I'm not particularly good with heights.
Well, I mean, it was an idea for a second, but if you don't think flying would be for you, then it seems a bit of a waste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's put a pin in that. Thanks.
Did
Circle
you
back
tell
around to it later.
did you say a story once of how you You flew as a child to
No,
rescue
no,
a scarf?
I don't recall that event ever happening. Shut up. You guys laughed at me for a week. Melly doesn't know. I've still got rep with her.
Yes, that
Given
is
I
what
just
you
rolled,
have.
given I just rolled a 6, no, you don't.
So
I
I
think
don't
we
think that the dice really needed to decide that one, but yes.
No, but it's more. I was trying to decide on how much of no rep do you have with her. The answer is no, you don't.
This is a negative rep.
Uh,
He
Well-
said as a child he was convinced if he could flap his arms hard enough, he would be able to fly and catch a scarf.
All right. Well, look, wings or not, dragon or not, it's not helping us right now. So let's go. Come on.
All right. We set out to catch up our lost time.
So you start heading out. It's a couple of days pass as you guys go across. So you don't have anything more exciting than what has already happened. Your food starts running dangerously low, however, um, until finally you come across a site that's familiar to only half of you. A large blue circus-like tent that only Henry and Astrakhan would remember. As it looks a bit dusty. Last time you saw it, it was like vibrant and clean and fresh. This looks like it's been there a while. The flap is shut, but you can pull it open.
Is that the same tent, Estracan?
I think it might be. Hopefully, she's got more food for us.
Yeah.
It's that
Uh,
mafia that you guys were talking about before.
There was a lovely lady who was in this
Come on,
tent
Melody.
above.
You'll love this.
Yeah. Uh, she's a storyteller, and yeah. But I mean, she kind of told us that we'd be fighting dragons, so maybe she can find a way out of here. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, she
when
didn't.
did you last see her? Above the mist or below the mist?
She was above the mist. Yeah, I don't know how she got here, unless she was on the Hope and Grace, just like you. Maybe she managed to get away from those people who captured her and also had a tent with her.
You,
Maybe.
you do remember that this entity is like some kind of fey creature.
Yeah, I recall.
Yeah, probably not contained by the normal laws of physics, time and space and things.
Henry looks at you in absolute, a jaw gob. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Are you sure she's even in
Magic
the
works
tent?
differently.
Are you sure
Hey,
she's
that's a-
even in the tent?
I go into the
This is a
tent.
tent.
All right, you disappear from view from compared to the others.
After you, Mr. Whipper. You didn't get to meet her last time, so
Yeah, is there like desperately look around for a hotel I could stay in?
Anything good,
Perhaps
huh?
it is only fair to investigate if I don't know, is
I
even
think
alive.
it's a she.
I don't know the answer. I've never met it before.
I know I have met her, and I believe she's a she, unless she changes. Apparently, she's outside time and space. I don't know exactly how that works.
Yes, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey business. Yes, I understand.
We better catch up. Astrakhan! And Henry will run in through the gate, through the flaps of the tent.
Everyone else follow?
I don't think I have a choice.
No.
Well, you do. You had last time. So, you guys go in. Astrakhan, as you're kind of looking around, it's kind of similar to the look of the tent outside. So there's just a bit of red dust everywhere. There's all the same kind of. So actually, I'll re-describe it again for melody's sake. So inside, large, silky tent, lots of cushions everywhere all over the floor. lots of opulence, velvet, silk, everywhere. Um, you see in the center there's like a little fire pit, and there's all this food around. Uh, but it's all kind of this is just like this thin layer of dust everywhere, of this red dust from similar to what's outside. There's no sign at this point of the Fae that lives here. But the food's there for you guys if you want to.
Yeah, I think I definitely want to eat. Last time it didn't do any harm, so
Yeah, Henry would also, being his halfling trait, would go straight for it.
Yep.
She would want us to eat this.
Given the others have gone to eat, Melody would just casually assume that nothing is amiss, and join, and be looking back at Mr. Whipper with the view of, you should join. Like, it's a you should join us. There's nothing wrong. Everyone else is eating.
Yeah, no, I mean, no question. You know, it's can't be as bad as Henry's cooking it.
Oh,
Means it's going to be pretty good.
So as you guys sit down to eat, kind of what you reach out and grab is it's kind of like your second favorite meal. So if you had like if your mum's roast chicken was your favorite meal, this is like what you'd make on scrap night, on leftovers night. So whatever you guys kind of eat, that's what you're picking up, even if you kind of aim for something else. Um, as you kind of eventually you kind of realize as you're sitting around in the circle on these cushions, there's this older woman kind of sitting there with you, dressed all in blue. Her skin's blue as well, but she's a lot older than she appeared last time she spoke to you guys. She didn't kind of appear in a puff of smoke or anything. You just kind of noticed that she was there and possibly was the whole time. Oh, I'm glad you found everything. Are you all well?
Henry does a spit take. Wah!
Oh,
Which-
well enough. Are you well? You look different to last time.
This isn't where I like to be. This is more my sister's area, and it doesn't suit me. And you kind of, as you look, she's kind of, yeah, just appears frail, is moving a bit stiffly.
In fairness, it doesn't really suit me either. Do you know a way out of here?
Well, I thought that's why I'd come in and talk to you all. I wanted to see how you're all doing, and to see if I could get your help once again. You did so well with the last favor we did.
We did.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
you killed a Iron. You saved the cities above.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know about if anyone else saw it, but the Hope and Grace was full of bodies of people we didn't save.
Oh, but think about all the people that you did. Your Mr. Whitby, your niece is flourishing up the top. Um, your Henry, your parents doing so well.
That's something good. Yeah, it's good.
Just remind me,
Mhm.
do we still owe her a favor, or did she use the favor for us to kill the dragon?
You guys owe her a favor.
I thought we might still owe her a favor.
Yeah.
Sorry, to
The
be clear,
favor.
Do I
you
owe
three,
anything?
you two still owe her a favor.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
free.
Just to be clear, you
How am
three.
I involved in this?
Yeah,
We
you got
signed
roped
you
in.
up.
Signed you up.
For what? What benefit did I get out of it?
Your niece
Not
is
getting
safe.
eaten by a dragon.
That's not true.
I mean, I know we probably still owe you a favor, but could you get us out of here?
All of us, like Neely as well.
Well, if you follow my directions, I can not only show you where Neely is and get you back to them, but I
Can?
can guarantee that you'll be able to see the sky again, rise up above the clouds, and possibly find your way home.
Henry almost leaps across the table and cups her hands. It's like, I will do anything. Just get us out of here. Get Neely out of here. Make everyone safe.
Well, I can tell you where Neely is, and then I can lead you the way. But in return for that, I am going to need you to promise to try and kill my sister while you're down here. While she's down here, while she is drawing on all these people's lives and suffering, she believes herself to be a god. She believes herself to be the arbiter of who gets to live and die, and is slowly reaching up and using her influence above the mist as well. That's the creature that took down your ship. It was her avatar, her temple.
Okay. So I guess in order to keep people safe, people have to die, just like the hope and grace. If that'll make us or make all of us safe again, then I'll do it. I'll do it, I swear. I'll do it. I promise. I promise. Just he looks back at, everyone else, Astrakhan, Mr. Whipper, even Melody. I'll make them all safe.
So you promised to show us where Neely is and
Absolutely.
make sure that we see the sky again, rise above the clouds, and have a chance to go home, as long as we try to kill your sister.
Yes. I always thought you were the clever one.
I mean, that seems fair. I'm not quite sure why you think we'll be able to do it, though.
Well, you have my help. That's why I have your. You're the reason why I'm able to come down here, because of the promises that the three of you made. I've been able to maintain a connection and come down here, whereas in the past I couldn't. And
Why can't you kill her?
Whipper. Very
I mean,
rude.
it is, you are talking about family, and you're talking about somebody who does not look like they are in, no offense, the best of health.
it's more than that. I'm the Fae of the air and the wind, and down here it's all her dust and all her stone and all her. It's her domain. I'm diminished here, but if you four manage to take some of my power to her, I will then be able to reappear, and I will be able to provide you with the help and
Oh,
protection.
okay. That's perfect. I mean, you know, hot air is all you need, and well, you got Henry, of course. So
But the
I
important
mean,
part is that you
haven't
need to
eaten
find your friend.
mushrooms.
You see, your friend, unfortunately, perhaps, carries a lot of lineage with my power. That's how she had her wind magic. A bit of a connection to it going back a long time. If you can get to her, then I'll be able to reappear. I'll be able to provide that help and be able to provide that protection. That's why it's so vital that you get there. And that's why I was hoping that they would be here with you now.
I'll save her. I'll do it. Just show me the way. Show me on a map. I'll go there.
No, not with now with your though, you seem desperate to get there, which is, very clear, but do you need she kind of looks at your arm. Now that you have your shield, you're not able to wield it as properly. Would you like some help with that?
You're gonna grow my arm back?
Well, I have to say it'll be a bit more painful than just simply growing it, but I can try.
Maybe. I mean, he looks back to Astrakhan. Did you? I mean, what do you think?
I can build you a prosthetic arm. I just need some materials. But
I think
also we don't necessarily want to go back to the golem infested university where there are materials, because then we get further behind Neely. But if there were materials for me to build an arm, I mean, it shouldn't hurt.
no.
But if the blue fae can grow you a new biological arm, you might prefer that. I don't know.
I think he looks at you for a second, then looks down at Darling and just no. That I don't deserve that. I don't need an arm. Astrakhan can get me. Kind of nods at you, tearing up.
No pressure.
No.
Don't roll a 1 when I make that roll.
Just show me the way. I'll figure something out.
Very well. She hands you guys over a compass with the indication that it will point towards your friend. Now, your friend is inside my sister's avatar. What that means is that it's basically a temple that she has managed to turn into a giant earth golem. That is what destroyed your ship. So, once you get to the temple where they reload it with slaves and prisoners that it uses the power itself, you'll then be able to board it, get to the top, reach Neely, and together, hopefully, be able to defeat my sister.
Henry's sort of jaw just drops. Saying, that was a golem that pulled us down. How
Oh,
big is it?
that's
would
what
say
pulled the
big.
dragon's wings off.
That makes sense. It's big.
Didn't pull the wings off so it could fly.
Okay. I guess we're fighting a giant.
Or more than
Yeah.
that, you're killing a god. Or at least, as I
Yeah.
said, she believes herself to be one.
Okay. We can do that, right, guys? All right. We look back and we can do that.
Sure, I mean, we almost died fighting a dragon that wasn't at full power, but we can fight a god. Anyway, step 1's finding Neely, so we can definitely do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think he looks back at the wind fae. You think we can do it?
I'm putting a lot of faith in that being done.
Okay. Sure. All right. I guess we're killing a god, guys. Mr. Whipper, no complaints, no talking us out of this.
No, I don't know if we really have any other option, especially given that somehow you guys bound me to a promise with this being, and now I'm trapped.
Yeah.
Perhaps it is not
Sorry.
to look at it like you are trapped, but that you are helping your friends, Mr. Whipper.
Perhaps.
Friendship.
It's magic.
Actually, no, never mind. I was going to say something, but it's no, not now.
All right. Well, like he just cups the compass in his hand. Let's go.
As you go, she hands over a loaf of bread and a stick of slimy and says, "As long as you need, you'll be able to. Those will regrow, and it'd be as though you never cut a piece off. So while you're down here, you'll have enough provisions to last you."
Oh, excellent. That is very handy. Thank you. Thank you for that. Miss Air and Wind Fae?
You may call me the Blue Sister.
Yes, Blue Sister. Miss Blue Sister, thank you for the provisions. That will save us from having to drink each other's blood, which none of us want to do, so that's good. Definitely good.
She arches an eyebrow at you, and after a moment says, "They've been down here longer than I thought."
It was traumatic, all right?
I think Henry's gonna start walking out the front door.
Well, best of luck. Remember what I said. Reach Neely, and I'll be able to reappear and help you.
Okay. All right. He'll just walk out the front door back into the winds and sand.
So does anybody else want to say or ask anything before, or just following your boy out?
And I think we've got our way out of this out of this desert, I guess. Might involve killing a god, but you know that's just That's just a challenge we can weasel our way out of when we get there. But, first thing first is to find Neely, and then we can worry about getting out of
Keeping
promises
promises.
that someone else has made.
Fair
as
enough.
we're as we're walking away, Henry ends up thinking and is quiet for a little while, just someone like him. Just sides up to Mr. Whipper. Being that she's the Fae of Wind, do you reckon she does farts too? Never
I
mind.
mean, maybe.
Hmm.
Like, why?
I mean, it's a type of wind, and I mean, it doesn't seem like her sisters all, didn't claim that. It seems odd. That's all. She
Maybe
never
there's a
mentioned.
sister of farts.
We should go back and ask.
I double dog dare you. Are you the god of farts? Do you do that?
No.
I was going to say, as you turn around to ask that question, the last of you leaves the tent, and it was never there. The sand is completely clear. There's no sign there's even anything like pegged down or anything like that. It's just gone.
Guess we'll never know.
We'll meet her again. You can ask then.
Can ask her sister. I bet we'll live.
Is her sister the god of?
Dust and stone, and maybe poop. I don't know. If she's the goddess of air and wind and farts, kind of makes sense.
I mean, I was 100% thinking that, but I didn't want to say it. I thought it seemed rude.
Yeah, you're the one who's now got that recorded on the internet.
That is 100% in character. That
Yeah.
is Astrakhan right
Uh-huh.
to the wall.
Uh-huh.
I love how I created this dark fantasy world where terrible things happen. You guys, the god of farts.
Hey,
Um,
I've spent this entire episode on making jokes about blowing, throat. There's been a long list of innuendos that I've held back for because it wasn't the right moment. Allow me a fart joke.
Proud of you.
You've shown remarkable restraint thus far. Fair enough.
Thank you.
So as you say, I like as they've like all left, Melody would pause and sketch both the tent and the person like into her notes. So she has like a visual representation of what's been agreed to, as well as a written version of what they've agreed to.
Sure.
For
Beneath
herself.
it has written a subtext: "God of farts?" Question mark.
She's fact driven, not opinion driven.
Everyone to just bear in mind the exact wording, because last time this happened, we were not paying enough attention, and the exact wording of what she promised.
So I have eidetic memory as a trait, so we don't actually have to worry about that right now.
Yeah, but
you
like,
should.
We should, because
more
she
in terms
promised,
of like, yeah, I don't know that.
She promised that we'd see the sky and
Uh-huh.
rise above the mist.
Yep.
There were no promises that we'd survive that experience.
Nope. There were none. But also I have wings, so you know that'll be what
Why
that'll
can't
be.
you just leave right now?
You
There's a
want to try?
large pile of mist above us.
Are you
Toxic
saying?
mist,
Are you
predators.
saying that?
Yeah, like, you know, like, can't you just carry us all like individually above the mist? Like we're each not very heavy.
We're
One by
quite
one,
little.
you could like.
I
I'm
mean,
a
Neely's
bug.
not.
I am a bug. To point this out, I am not like not a bird. I'm an insect.
Okay, but you're 3 times the size of all of us.
Your fault for being
basically-
tiny. I don't know.
You're basically a bug of prey.
I'm a bug of prey.
While we have this conversation, we are heading to follow the yellow brick road, or at least follow the compass.
Oh shit, we've been going the wrong way for 20 minutes. There, everyone, turn around. I wasn't looking at the compass.
You guys continue on, go make the right direction, and I think that's where we will leave it.
Ooh,
With
fun.
new directions, new tools, old toys. And I
Nice.
guess
It's good. full belly
Yeah.
of bread and guts.
I'll just add on.
I feel like we need to hold Bug of Prey is merch, just for like clarity. Bug of Prey is merch.
Well, I know someone will have it in our Discord shortly. He's working on it now. I know
He's
it.
working on it now, yeah.
Just the quick epilogue. So with the epilogue, we zoom up and away from you guys across a not too long a distance, but still some distance, to Neely, who's simply lifting up her sleeve and seeing the first dark scarring going across her skin.
Mm.
And that's where we leave it.